Okay, so this is a paper-free specimen paper from 2016. Now, I don't want to go through the whole thing, but obviously it's the spreadsheets, which is here, and then the web page. There is a final bit as well, which is okay, this one here, training notes. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of the spreadsheet. Now, Bic has done this one on a Monday, and I just want to go through because there's one thing I noticed. I read through this, and there's one or two things which I didn't explain to Bic, which I'd need to. I did this one a long time ago and then just sort of forgotten about it, and I don't think I uploaded the right video. So now I'm hoping, if you're looking at this, it says format cells so they appear the same, blah, blah. Format cells, I'm using LibreOffice. Please do not use LibreOffice. You'll be using Excel. I'm using LibreOffice simply because this Mac has crashed and it's corrupted Microsoft Office. But what you're looking at will be exactly the same. Now, as an example, if you want to merge the cells, okay, so I left click and drag. I've dragged 4 cells here. If I click here, merge and center, that's exactly the same as in Excel. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, like I say. I want to come back up here. Okay. What you've got is something like, okay, calculate the number of trips in April, May and June. Okay, so if I go back to here, how many trips have happened in April, May and June? So if I do subtotal equals sum, open bracket, and then you drag around those 3, do a closing bracket and hit enter, and it's done. If you then also need to sum or add up the income and the expenditure, you could try doing this, dragging it down. So you kind of click on the box, wait till it gets to that kind of plus sign. If you click see what's happened, so it's adding up B4 to D4, okay, and then B5 to E5, so B5 to D5. So it's a quick way you can do that. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, okay, but that's just obviously your equal sum. This was the bit. Now, sorry, let's say you've got, where was the other bit? Okay, so I'm skipping some of this stuff, okay, because it is in the other videos, but it's this bit here, okay. Profit. So profit equals income minus expenditure. So you go to profit. So it's income minus expenditure. So I'm actually so what you could do is type an equals in. You could actually just do something as simple as that. Okay, hit enter, and that's the profit. If you then drag that over there, just check that's made that work. So it has, yeah? So it just saves you a bit of time. If you now what you might do, what you would have to do is then do that for all these subtotals and all these months. The reason I'm doing this again is just to explain this bit here. Greatest monthly total, lowest, and the average. Now this is the bit that actually I didn't quite read the question right when Bic was doing it. Now I'm actually going to put in just some random numbers here, okay? Just a bit of randomness. Okay. Now the question says the greatest monthly profit. So what we're looking at is profit here. Okay. Now, hang on. Now with your spreadsheet, if you were going to do this, you would do best month equals max. That open up the an opening bracket, and then you would drag around. So you select all the profit, and then you would do a closing bracket and hit enter. Obviously, you would do it all the way over to the end of the year. But you just need to make sure that you don't, anyway, you select everything. And if you were going to do, if you were going to do the worst month, you would then do equals min, and basically do the same thing. So I'm just going to drag, I won't do all of them, just some of them. And then average would be equals average. So I'll just click So let me do it. Okay, now I'm going to have to type it all in. Okay, and then I'll do something like that. And then, right. Now in theory that has worked. There is one slight problem. If you're working, for example, at the average, it's actually included that. And you don't want that. That's a subtotal. All you're interested in is the months. So April, May, June, July, August. Now, so how would you do that? Now, if you wanted to max everything up, if that was blank, it wouldn't matter, you know, because you're saying, but actually, if you're doing the worst month, it would choose that as the worst month because it's basically 0. So what I'm going to do is just click here and then do equals again and max. This time, open the bracket. Right. Now what I'm going to do is highlight that. Okay. Then put a comma. Highlight that. Put a comma. Highlight that. You see, that's how you would do it. And you do it all the way to the end of the year. Click enter. So, and then if I'm doing the worst month, it would be equals min. Open bracket. So you're highlighting that. You put a comma, and then you're highlighting that. Put a comma, and I'm actually just going to end it there. Okay. Oops, I did that wrong because I put that comma. Okay. So if you have a look here, it's separated by a little comma. So that's what I didn't, and that was my fault. I didn't do that with Bic when she was doing it. And it's only now I'm going home and doing it for real that I realised that actually I should have seen that. So now I'm going to highlight that and then just close, bang. So the average is now that. If I didn't do that, I'm going to do equals, so equals average. Now I'm going to drag around all of them. Actually, the average is the same, so it's actually hasn't affected the average. It would affect the worst month though, because if you had a total in there, it would include that in your calculations. Even if this isn't sort of making a great deal of sense, I'm hoping that you're sort of just trying to understand that when you're actually reading the questions, sort of read them and think about, okay, what is it asking me? This one isn't actually too complicated when you're looking at it. It's not too bad. Again, if this isn't making sense, then you just contact me and I'll redo the video, do it in a slightly better way. There was one thing here, and this was well spotted by Bic. I didn't say, okay, there you go. It actually says edit the formula in cell B11. Okay, I'm going to go to B11. Okay. So it rounds down this value to the nearest dollar. Right, what it means is, what have I done? Okay, average. So actually we're going into B11. So let's see what happens there. Didn't work. Okay. So I'm going to do the average one again. Actually, look, just for speed. No, I'll do it properly. Okay, so equals average. Okay, so I'm going to put average in this one. So just like the one there, I'm just going to bang, hit enter. Okay, so that's the average. So in B11 it says round it up. Now I'm going to click on this one and use this as an example. That's the number 0.3. If I now do equals, there you go, and you've got this thing here where it says round up. So I'll do an opening bracket, click on that one, closing bracket, hit enter, there you go, it's rounded it up. Okay, you wouldn't normally do that in maths, you actually round it down if it was 0.3. But you should have also a round down. Okay, so there you've got the round up, so you've got a round up and a round down. But what it says, and this was what Bic had noticed, what am I doing? Okay, edit the formula in cell B11. So what you need to do is click on that, and then this is how you're going to do it. So you've already got your average there, but you're going to do round up, open bracket. Okay. Now what it might do is say, You see it's got number and it's got count. What that means is, what number is it? Well, number is this thing here where you've got average, but the count is how many decimal places. So I'm going to put a 0 in, do the closing bracket, hit enter, okay? Now I didn't put a number there. I didn't put a number there because I think what it would do is assume that if you don't put anything in, it just rounds it down to 0. I'm going to put it 1 anyway to see the change. Okay, you see what's happened? So actually basically nothing has happened, it's just rounded it down. So it rounded it down to 1 decimal place. But what we need to do is round it down to no decimal places. But that's, if you do that, then you've done all the kind of complicated technical stuff on here. And all the rest really is just sort of formatting it, just like if it was in Word. The other thing that Bic did ask me is to do with footer. There you go. On the left footer, add your name. So it's just, if you, in Excel, you'll have header and footer, it will be around there. In this one, because I'm using LibreOffice, it's hidden somewhere else. It's probably actually, I don't know, but if you go to view and you'll see header and footer about around here. And basically that's just like you were doing in Word, where it will put your name and candidate number on the bottom left or bottom right. But hopefully that's making a bit of sense. So there you go, you've got round up and you've got average. Okay, but you should receive, you got a mark for each bit. I think they would be kind to you. Let's just say you did this round up, or you did this maximum thing, and you didn't do it. Sorry. Oh, get off. So if you were doing like best month and worst month, if you did it where you just, hang on, I'm going to do, so for example, equals min, you want the minimum amount. If you did that, and just dragged it over like that, you wouldn't, I think they would give you some kind of mark for that, but it's just, because you're only adding up the totals of the month, do it this way, and it really would then be no doubt about the mark you would get. With this, I've also uploaded the mark scheme. This is very handy just to see all the different formula that you need. Also, it's quite handy because you actually get screenshots of, okay, what it looks like your spreadsheet when it's formatted. You also see what your website should look like. The final thing is this. What is this? This is the final thing, and it's kind of weird. Basically, it's a presentation. So the final bit of the question paper is, if I come down, keep coming down. It's here, okay. You are going to produce some notes. Basically, it's a presentation talking about how you did the website, how you did the web page. That's basically what it is. But look at the mark scheme just to get an idea. The other thing is, if I'm going to come back to here, there is a screenshot. Okay, here it's showing the formulas that you've actually put onto the spreadsheet. If you press Control and then the key underneath the escape key on your keyboard, now it doesn't work. Again, I'm using LibreOffice, so it's doing this weird thing, but it's basically the Control key and that one, and the one just underneath escape. It looks like, so it's the little thing that looks like this. Okay, if I do Shift, it's that. So it's just underneath the escape key. If you press Control and that at the same time, then you'll get the different view, which will look like that. You press it again and it will go back to the sort of the normal view. What I mean by that is you'll see the actual formula. So you don't see the formula unless you click on it, but if you did that on Excel, then you would see it. Any questions, just let me know, and good luck.